Welcome, everybody. Big announcement about the future of the David Pakman Show coming at the end of today's episode. But major news. Despite Joe Biden rigging the justice system against his political enemies and in favor of his friends and family, Hunter Biden has been convicted on gun charges and now will face sentencing. Now, I'll be totally honest. I wasn't even going to talk about this. I jokingly tweeted, now that Hunter Biden has been convicted, I definitely won't be voting for him in November. And of course, it's like, what bearing does this have on Joe Biden, particularly since Joe Biden is not intervening or getting involved in any way? But in fact, there is a really newsworthy story here in the context of Trump facing criminal charges and having been convicted already. And that story is the complete and utter hypocrisy, whataboutism, special pleading, and conspiracy theorizing that is just everywhere around the Hunter Biden conviction. So let's take it step by step. Why not? We start with the Politico report. Will Hunter Biden go to prison? Here's what happens next after his conviction. And it lays out in very clear detail Hunter Biden's conviction on 3 felony gun-related charges presents complicated legal and political challenges for his father, Joe Biden, and for the justice system as a whole. What comes next? We, of course, have the same interview with a probation officer that Donald Trump recently sat for. He'll be asked a whole bunch of questions. There will be a report written for the judge, and ultimately we are going to get sentencing. Biden faces a maximum of 25 years in prison for the 3 counts. The judge has many other options. And typically, I will point out, there is not a prison time for a first offense of this kind, but we will see. I am confident that just like in Trump's case, I guess, the judge will render a reasonable sentence for Hunter Biden as well. So you would think that now that Joe Biden has done nothing to get his son out of trouble, is not intervening in any way, has said he won't be pardoning Hunter Biden, which we'll get to in a moment. Now that all of this has been done, you would think Republicans would say, hey, you know what? The very same Biden Justice Department that oversaw the prosecution of Trump and is overseeing prosecutions of Trump federally went after Hunter Biden. They are going after Bob Menendez, a Democrat. They're going after Henry Cuellar, a Democrat. We have an ethics investigation of Cori Bush, a Democrat. We're ready to say that Joe Biden has not weaponized the justice system against his enemies. No. The new position is that this was all a nonsense minimal charge against Hunter Biden to make it look as though the system is actually going after people in a bipartisan way. And I even heard that President Biden orchestrated the conviction of his own son in order to justify the criminal charges against his political enemy, Donald Trump. It's a red herring. It's a deliberate distraction. Now, the funny thing about this is you could make exactly the same argument about Donald Trump's 34 guilty verdicts. I mean, Trump will likely get no prison time despite 34 felony guilty verdicts in the first of 4 criminal trials. If you want to make the argument that this is a facade of accountability, you can make that argument just as strongly about the conviction of Donald Trump so far as you can about Hunter Biden. But let's look at a couple of the reactions. Hardcore MAGA Charlie Kirk, a recruiter of young people to MAGAism, tweeted out, Hunter Biden guilty, yawn. The true crimes of the Biden crime family remain untouched. This is a fake trial trying to make the justice system appear balanced. Don't fall for it. And a bunch of MAGA types jumped all over this perspective. The failed former MAGA Congressman Madison Cawthorn, who was kicked out of Congress within just 1 term, tweeted out, quote, they needed this guilty verdict so the left could rush to the media and pretend there's not a double standard in our justice system. But Hunter will get probation and Biden will try to throw Trump in prison. Just watch. And then we heard from Donald Trump's daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, who says Hunter Biden's prosecution was just a distraction.
knows what this trial with Hunter Biden was about. This is about smoke and mirrors. This is the red herring. This is a distraction from what you've talked about the entire show, which is that it's not just criminality we're worried about with the Biden family. It's national security we're concerned about. We need to know as American citizens that when Joe Biden, as president of the United States, is making decisions for this country, he's made decisions based on what's best for the American people and not what's best for the bank account of the Biden family. And by the way, Sean.
And of course, if there is any president in recent history who makes decisions based on what is based for him and his family rather than the country, it's the failed former president, convicted felon Donald Trump. So think about the facts as we know them here. In the Hunter Biden case, we had a Trump appointed prosecutor. Biden kept that prosecutor through the investigation of his own son, not interfering. Republicans wanted that prosecutor.
What this trial with Hunter.
Lara Trump popping back up. Republicans wanted that prosecutor made special counsel. Joe Biden did it. They brought indictments. Biden did not interfere. He was convicted on all counts with a Delaware jury pool where the Bidens are from. And you would think, oh, these are rigged juries where they're never going to. They convicted him on every single count. A Trump appointed judge presided over the case. And importantly, Joe Biden has said he will not pardon his son, which Donald Trump in a similar situation obviously would do. It's getting very difficult to make the case that there is political bias in favor of Hunter Biden here. Let's talk about Joe Biden's reaction next. I've had such trouble finding a great razor where I am not cutting myself or getting those nicks on my skin, which are so common with the cheap disposable razors. You have to meet our sponsor, Henson Shaving. Henson actually manufactures parts for the International Space Station and the Mars rover, and they are bringing that exact same precision engineering to the shaving experience. It hurts when you shave because blades extend too far and thus they wobble slightly. But with their aerospace grade CNC machines, Henson is able to make metal razors that extend just 0.0013 inches. That's less than the thickness of a human hair, which means a secure, stable blade with a vibration-free shave. It also has built-in channels to evacuate the hair and the cream. No more clogs, no more rubbing your thumb on the razor to get the hair out. I use Henson at home. Shaving is a great experience now. Henson wants to be the best razor, not the best razor business, which means you only need to buy it once and it's awesome. Go to hensonshaving.com/Pacman, add a razor and a 100-pack of blades to your cart, then enter the code Pacman to get the 100 blades for free. That is a 3-year supply. The link is down below.